According to the United Nations, there are 181 checkpoints in the Hebron area. It's difficult and often dangerous to travel from home to work, to the market, to visit friends and family. The brutality of the settlers and the occupation that comes with them prompted some former Israeli soldiers to break the silence and speak out to their own society and to the world about their experience in Hebron.
We're walking there in streets that only Jews could walk in the streets. The Palestinians couldn't go out of their houses. They were under curfew. And there are certain streets in Hebron that were only for Jews. The street is cleaned from Palestinians. And I remember myself walking in these streets. It was an holiday, a Jewish holiday, and the city was full with thousands of Jews. And we're walking in the middle of a Palestinian city that has 150,000 Palestinians in the city, and all what we see when we're patrolling there is Jews. We didn't see one Palestinian for hours. And I didn't understand what's going on around me, why everything is closed, why it looks like a Jewish city. And when I started to talk with the settlers there, so that the answer I got is that this is the way Hebron should look.
As you see here, the playground of my kids. As you see, it's a jail, not playground, but we call it playground because my kids, they play here, and because if they go outside, they will be dangerous. They will be attacked by the settlers, and also by soldiers. They don't care. They play here because if they go outside, they will feel afraid because always they're attacked by stones and by glass bottles. They throw it at their kids when they play at the road, so they should come, and we use this fence to protect them from the stones. Because when we was sit here, also we was attacked by the settlers, and the soldier, they can protect the settlers only. It's our fault, our crime, just because we are a Palestinian and we did not want to leave this house.
The real situation behind the headlines of the newspapers. What I did in Hebron every night, firing grenades into a Busnena neighborhood, that's what the Israeli press called IDF forces returned fire to the source of fire. I don't remember once that I recognized the source of fire.
People just argued. I mean, I want to shoot, no, I want to shoot, no, I want to shoot. They just like stood in a line behind a grenade machine gun in order to shoot the grenades for something like 2,000 meters at Khalat Sheikh. I mean, civilized neighborhood, and you can't see shit. I mean, it's night, and you don't see any snipers, you don't see nothing. You just see buildings, and you feel like it's inside of a computer game. And then your mother calls you to see if you're okay. You can't tell her that this is what you've been doing. I mean, and she hears the shots and all the noise of the explosions in Hebron. And you said it's just like, no, it's okay, just a drill.
The Israeli society has no clue about what's going on in Hebron, what's going on in all the occupied territories.
The closure, curfews, it's the most something, it kill us. Always we have here a curfew. Any problems in all of Hebron, we have a curfew here. Believe me, if we hear an explosion in London, we have here in Tel Armid, we have a curfew here.
The story of the settlers' violence in Hebron is an untold story that most media outlets, including Israeli media, would not dare to cover due to the settlers' hostility towards them. The city of Hebron is losing its residents at an alarming pace, especially in the old city. Walking the streets of Hebron, you would think you were walking in a ghost town. Before the settlers invaded, the city was a major tourist attraction due to its holiness for Jews, Christians, and Muslims as the burial place of the patriarchs. But now, the city is experiencing an organized process aimed at forcing the Palestinians out of their homes.
Sitting on a post on the roof and hearing drilling from the under of you inside the settlers' houses, and you call on the radio, you call the patrol, and you say, I hear drills under me, please check what it is. And the patrol comes in the middle of the night and he found a settler that decided to expand his living room. So he drilled into the wall. He broke into a Palestinian shop. They have the same wall. He threw everything that was in the shop to the street. He locked the doors, and now he has a bigger house. No one is arresting him. No one is stopping them. The police in Hebron is afraid from the settlers.
It's frightening. I mean, it's really frightening to live here when your neighbors want you gone. They want your land, they want your home, and they're willing to intimidate and to threaten until they get their way. And the army and the police, the Israeli security apparatus that is here is primarily mandated to protect them.
They're armed, they're violent, there's been years and years of absolutely unrestrained settler violence. A settler can kill a Palestinian with impunity, with no fear whatsoever of ever being tried or brought to court or anything. And I've witnessed this with my own eyes. Settlers can go, and I've witnessed this as well, into Palestinian houses and take over the houses, or come in and burn the house down, with the police all around.
How can you do to other people what was done to you people, just 60 years ago? I visited South Africa recently, and I spoke to black people who still remember the apartheid. This is the South African apartheid. This is Rhodesia. Actually, the Palestinians, in the best case, are transparent. They don't see them. They don't exist.
The latest chapter of the Israeli policy, and especially that of Prime Minister Ariel Sharon, father of the settlement movement, is in its final installment to create permanent facts on the ground and shape the future of the Palestinian state. In June 2002, Israel decided to encircle the West Bank, including East Jerusalem, with a wall or a fence, depending on who you ask. The International Court of Justice calls it a wall. In some areas, it is indeed a 25-foot-high concrete wall, while in other areas it is a fence surrounded by razor wire, trenches, patrol roads, and surveillance cameras. Palestinians call it an apartheid wall. Israelis call it a security fence.